Was there a cost to what that House has just gone through on the Republican side?
I don't think there was a cost as much as it was growing pains. I think what we just experienced in the last couple of weeks was what was necessary to unify our conference, to unify our party. There are basically four things I think we need to do. Number one, get the House working like it was intended to work by the founders. Number two, we need to seek common ground. We need to find common ground where we can find it to advance the nation's interests, and we can do so without compromising our principles. Number three, I think it's incredibly important that we serve as an effective opposition party, a check on the administration's power. But that leads me to the most important point, number four. We've got to be a bold alternative party, a proposition party. We don't like the direction the country's headed, so we owe it to the people of this nation how we would do things differently, and that's what we have to do in 2016.
The 40 or so group of conservatives who fought against John Boehner, a lot of people said these tactics you're using, they're going to hurt the party, they're too extreme. But in the end, Republicans have now voted for a speaker they really like, you. So isn't that a validation of the tactics of the Freedom
Well, look,
Caucus?
these guys are good friends of mine. I am a movement conservative, and people know that. I think it's important. I think what we haven't done is offer a vision. We have not shown, not only ourselves, but the nation, what is the horizon we're shooting for? What are the big ideas that we're going to champion? That's unifying. That's what we should rally around. So that, to me, means we should put aside the timid nature of not taking risks on policy and show people why we should be trusted to lead in this nation to get us to a better day.
Do you see this job as a leader where you say, here's where we're going and everybody follows you, or are you more of a facilitator? John Boehner used to talk about working the will of the House.
I think that's right. So I was not elected dictator of the House. I was elected Speaker of the House. And that means we do it in a bottom-up approach. We reach consensus. As Republicans, we have common principles. We need to take those common principles and apply them to the problems of the day through consensus to show the country a better way forward. And it's my job to lead to that consensus, but not to dictate that consensus.
One of the things you used to write about in your budgets when you were budget chairman, seems an age ago, you talked about how bigger government was possibly smashing community in America. Yeah. That's a bigger philosophical vision. Do you see your job as Speaker to make that case?
I do see my job as Speaker as, and I'm redesigning this job. I don't think it can work going forward like it's worked in the past. I can't pick up where John left off. It has to be done differently. And my colleagues agree with that. I think that's one of the reasons why I was elected Speaker. And so I do believe that means we have to be bold. We have to show who we are, what we believe. And when you're asking me about communities, I spent a great deal of time and thought about this. I think big government displaces what we call civil society. Big government makes it harder for communities to come together and heal problems. And so that, to me, is an incredibly important dialogue we're going to have in this country, which is, how do we attack the root causes of poverty? How do we deal with reintegrating displaced communities so that people can build better lives for themselves?
You went out somewhat anonymously into the, well, totally anonymously into the country, went into these communities, talked to addicts, talked to people down on their luck. You won't be able to do that anymore.
Oh, I'm going to keep doing it. Yeah, it may not be as anonymous as before. I'm going to keep doing that because I think we need to go out in our communities and learn. Learn from people who are successful at actually fighting poverty, at getting people back on their feet. I think we need another round of welfare reform to move people from welfare to work so that people can make the most of their lives. And so I'm going to keep doing that.